Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Psychopaths Season 1 Episode number 3 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, it was a very interesting episode because it basically made us realize how the world is and what's going on. So long story short, obviously the world is futuristic, and because of its futuristic nature, a lot of things have been simplified, basically like very like different stuff which needs like creativity and things, like for example your room, like decorating your room, that is also very much simplified. They just literally press a button and have like a different theme in their background every single day. So there's no need to decorate a room, no need to properly dress up. You can literally press a button and it'll like dress you up in a different way, and so many other things there are. And it's just like how more futuristic the world becomes, the more people like starts getting used to it and lets the the technology control you, that kind of thing. So yeah, like we get a very good like insight into how the world is, which brings us to the whole situation with the civil system. We also get to realize in the by the end of it that this world is basically like people are judged by the civil system. That's why a lot of these what did they call enforcers? Yeah, enforcers, they have been like judged as a latent criminal by the civil system even at like ages like 5 or 6. And from that point onwards, their life has been sealed. They basically have to like either go into confinement or become an enforcer, which one of the guys in the enforcer, I forgot his name, he was a victim of. So like all these things we get to know. And I kind of was feeling bad about um what's the guy's name who she shot. I cannot remember his name. She was feeling bad for him, and she goes and talks to him, and he's like, it's fine, like I forgot that we are supposed to be there for the people. I started getting controlled by the system, and I was just, I forgot the fact that we are doing this to help the people, not to penalize them. And you made me realize that, all that stuff, and they kind of made up. And yeah, like everything is okay. They also like apprehended another criminal. I remember he like I kind of went with Masao, I think that was his name, and apprehended another criminal. And he kind of told her that, all you need to do is just sit and like keep an eye on us. We will do the job for you. So all these things we get to see. But by the end of it, everything is working okay. And yeah, the guy who was hospitalized is back now, and like yeah, like normal stuff resumes. So yeah, that's what happened. Now let me see what happened. Let's see what happens in this episode number 3. Yeah, let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference. Let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, okay. Some personal training. Right. Damn. He, he crushed the bottle. Hmm. Oh, it's that guy we saw him in the first episode. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, it seems like it, but who knows? Ah, then there must be something going on. Hmm. Hmm. 50 debuggers. Okay. Okay. Right. Damn. I see. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Hmm. Okay. Maybe they made someone do it who didn't even realize that they did something like this and unconsciously did it, and this happened. And the mastermind is like someone behind them who's like, yeah, his face is always scowling. Hmm. Colleague or handler? Hmm. Wow. Damn. Hmm. His face. You're smiling, and then when he moves, his face is scowling. Just run. Okay. No problem. Yeah, makes sense. Hmm. Oh my god. That is crazy. You're not wired for it. Ah. Why are you smiling like that? Okay, for hacking purposes, there. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Wow. Chiyoyama. Okay. Yeah, like why is this happening? Oh my god. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, nothing you can do about it, I guess, for now, at least. Uh, everyone's green. Uh, what about you? Did he give his psychopath? Oh, I guess the Dominator, like, yeah, it checks it immediately. Yeah, this is a murder situation, bro. Do what you're told. Bro, that's why we're doing this. Oh, great. Yeah, this guy is fishy. Ministry of Economy. Goddamn. Tch. Hmm. Yeah, like maybe he's faking it. I don't know. Ah, I see. So this is just like a. Ah, that's why he was saying like use let's use the Dominator. Wow. What the? I guess like yeah, it needs to be confirmed the approval. Wait, what? Oh, is it because of this? It's not linked to the yeah. Oh, that's wait. Then why did he say that? Let's use the Dominator. Yeah. Victim's condition. Grudge. But this is not the first time. It's like it's happened before as well. Yeah, and that's also another thing. How? How are nobody stressed here? People have been working every. Hey, yo, this place is weird. Oh, this is how they take out their stress? Wow, what a great place you have. You know what's happened? No, but. Wow. I was gonna say. Yeah, I was saying, like, if. That's why they don't have anyone. Bro, that's not taking care of it. You're just, like, deflecting the thing. What? Oh my god, yo. Yeah, you stressed, bro? What? It's like. Oh my god. Right. So, yeah, this is literally entertainment for them. Exactly, and they just take him out. I was gonna say maybe that they were like, like this was a murder because the person who's like, like he was killed. The person who. Oh, there you go. So I was correct. It's the person who died. Okay. Open to everyone else. Improved. Before. Oh, before. Yeah, why before? Yeah, okay. Oh, is he the one who killed? Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Wait, he called him Gino. Is it like, does he like know him personally or something? Yeah, and that as well. Boy. Damn. Hmm. Okay, so wait. Was it that guy who killed him? That's why the. But I don't know. Yeah. Total 200-meter worth of communication cable. Okay, so they're going to try to judge his coefficient. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. What? So he's directly bringing him. Wait, is he? Is Shinya Voice acted by Gilgamesh's voice actor. Okay. Ah, so that's what he's planning. Johnny Mnemonic. Right, so he is the one who did it. Okay. No, but he's. Ah, well, here we go. Okay, so something similar like this happened to those guys who died. They probably pushed him into a corner, and then he snapped and he did this. And yeah, and this continued. Oh god. Damn. Wow, it's like. Damn. Oh, okay. So they're bringing the wire. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, move. He's gonna drop in anytime. Okay. Nice. Okay, okay, okay. Now point the gun at, or throw it to him, I guess. Okay. Oh, 2-6. That's a lot. Oh, it's gonna go boom. It's no. Wait, wasn't he supposed to? Isn't it like? Yeah, I was going to say, like, wouldn't it like completely destroy him because his coefficient is so high? No, wait. That's a machine. Okay, I'm a bit confused here. I'll talk about this later. Like, did he use the? Did he use the? Oh my god. Okay, okay. I don't like. How was? Okay. Oh boy, I'm a bit confused here. Like that guy didn't. Hmm. Okay, wait, wait, wait. I'm a bit confused here. First of all, obviously he checked the coefficient for the criminal. It was 260 or something, and we saw in the very first episode that above a certain limit, it turns into that destroyer thing, and it was way lower than 200, where it turns into a destroyer. So I was thinking, oh, it's going to turn into the destroyer, and he's going to like immediately kill the dude. But the dude got tranquilized. And after he got tranquilized, then the Dominator changed into the Destroyer mode or whatever it's called. And he used it to destroy the machine. Okay, I doubt machines have a coefficient. Do they have the coefficient? I doubt that. Machines are not living. The one who is using the machines, they have a coefficient. The human beings are the ones. So, did Shinya use the guy's coefficient, and before it turned into a destroyer, he took care of the dude, tranquilized the dude, and then when it became the destroyer, then he, okay, used that to destroy the machine? Is that what he did? Like, because I'm so confused here. Like, wait. Like, I'm going to go back to that scene again. I need to understand this part. First of all, where is that? Okay, so here we go. Throws the dominator towards Shinya. Shinya grabs it. Yeah, crime coefficient 265. Here we go. He's a target for enforcement action. Okay, as soon as that's he says that, like, the dominator says that, he shoots him, and that was the tranquilizer, I'm guessing, thing. He gets tranquilized and he falls down. Okay, then Shinya dodges the robot, and then the dominator says threat's target judgment has been updated. Enforcement mode is destroy decomposer. Okay, so does this mean that it also works on like machines? Because I was like, I thought that it probably wouldn't work, because like machines don't really have like like emotions and feelings. So how, like, oh, I think, okay, you know what? I feel like wait. It's not based on the emotions or anything like that. I think the coefficient is based on how much of a threat it is to society, isn't it? If that's the case, then I guess it would make sense that it would also like judge non-living objects, and not non-living objects but any type of like machines which might be a threat to society. The dominator will also deem them harmful and change into the destroyer mode. So that would answer my question, like, okay, because what I thought that he used the dude's coefficient to shoot the like the thing, the robot thing. But it won't work like that, because it depends on it works on the different person, the person you are targeting. Based on that person's coefficient, it works like that. Okay, then I think I made a mistake then. What is the upper limit of when the dominator changes from a tranquilizer to a destroyer? What's the upper limit of it? Because I think I'm probably misremembering it, because in the very first episode I remember that lady who he pointed the gun at, wasn't her coefficient way lesser than 200 and it still turned into a destroyer? Or am I just, maybe I'm misremembering, because yeah, I feel like I need to go back to that episode and see exactly how how which amount was the coefficient back then. Right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm misremembering. Okay, so the guy's coefficient was not high enough to for the thing to become a destroyer. However, the robot that went crazy, that thing's coefficient was more than enough to make the dominator turn into a destroyer, and it destroyed the thing. I think that's what happened. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm misremembering the numbers, because now that I'm thinking about it, I remember the guy Masaoka, I think that's his name. He had a coefficient of like 130 or 110 or something like that, and he was like, like, yeah, he was fine. For him, the thing obviously doesn't turn, like, all the enforcers, the dominators won't turn into a destroyer for them. They turn into the tranquilizer in case. But for that guy, the guy in the very first episode, who at first it was the tranquilizer, but when we saw the guy going even crazier, the thing updated, became a destroyer and completely killed him. So yeah, I think I'm misremembering the numbers. It's probably that. Anyways, so yeah, I think and like I said, if like let me know. Like I think it also works on like machines and robots as well, because I think the civil system is not based on their emotions. It's just based on the fact whether the particular object is a threat to society, something like that. So it doesn't matter if it's a human or it's a robot. If you're a threat to society, you will be judged. Basically that. But I do wonder, in case of machines, if that they're not big enough threat for society, then the Dominator will turn into a tranquilizer, wouldn't it? Then tranquilizers won't work on machines. Like, what's up with that then? What do we do then? I do wonder. But yeah, anyways, there's a few questions I have, but I feel like I'll get my answers if I keep watching the show. Anyways, and there you go. That is it. Okay, so that was today's episode. Yeah, we got stuck, like we got involved in another like a murder, like situation. At first, it looked like it might be an accident, but then little by little we realized that it's a murder. But before that, a lot of things were happening in the whole like investigation, that part. So basically, this place is supposed to be a almost fully automated, place where these robots do most of the work. But there's 50 people who are given the responsibility of debugging, because yeah, that obviously machines cannot do. Humans have to do it. So 50 people, they live in and work here, and yeah, so that's the whole situation. Turns out there have been two more like accidents like this before, and this is the third one, or was it this is the fourth one? Either way, so yeah, that is why they were like, it's a bit fishy. Like, if this was like one time, we could have been like, oh, it's an accident, but it's like the third time happening. So in no way, like, something is definitely weird going on. So we have to go there and take care of this situation. So they went there and they saw the whole situation, and everything seemed pretty normal, because all the people, all of them's what is it called, the thing, the coefficient thing, the color that they like that they record and that they judge whether you're difficult for like whether your hue is clouded or not, that thing, they take care of that. Everything is like green, and like the maximum they go is like for up until yellowish green or something like that. So in that sense, everything is okay. But the problem here was, as Masaoka says later on, that it's not a thorough check. That what they are doing, it's just a check on like a very very preliminary check. To do a proper check of a person, you have to work you have to depend on the civil system. But however, the fact that here no like connection to the internet or none of that happens is basically disconnected. You cannot do that. The civil system won't work here. Also, the fact that the dominators will also not work, because the dominators need to be authorized, and to do that you need to be connected to the internet. So they cannot even point the dominator at the others and see whether it's working or not. Now there was a section I didn't I think I kind of properly didn't understand, or it didn't clear up at that point, but now I understand. The fact that when they said that, oh, let's use the dominator, but the dude was like, oh no, it's going to decrease productivity, I was thinking, like, all we need to do is point the dominator at the guy. How is this going to like decrease the productivity? And then I realized later on that, oh, it's because the dominator won't work. They will need to take them and bring them all out to a place where the range, it will, so in that sense, the productivity will decrease. So it made sense then. Either way, right. So another thing we got to know here, the fact that there's no internet connection here, and the fact that everyone's color is so normal, How does that work? Like you're working like day in day out over here. You cannot go out, cannot go back home. You don't have any type of recreation here, like no internet, nothing. So how is that possible? And we got to realize what's happening. People are just taking out their stress on like a scapegoat. And this, like, in this situation, the scapegoat was this dude. What's his name? Wait a minute. Fukuyama, is that his name? And this person is later transferred somewhere else without exception. Fukuyama Daigo, that's his name, isn't it? Okay, wait. Yeah, the same person has been the target of bullying this past year. The data clearly indicates it. Other people's psychoplastic. Oh no, not that. That guy's the victim. Okay, no. I think. Okay, there's one person whose psychopath is clouded. Kanehara Yuji, that's his name. Yeah. Yellow green. So yeah, he is the person who has been, like, who's being bullied. And others take their stress out on them. So, like, there you are fine, but one person always becomes the scapegoat. Now, it turns out they realize that every single time, not every single time, but like before the murder happened, the guy's psychopath got clouded, but just after the day of murder, it became normal again. So that obviously was very suspicious. Like, how is that going? What's happening over there? So that is why they were like, yeah, something's up with that dude. We have to take care of, use the Dominator. But to use the Dominator, we need to bring them in range. And to do that, obviously, and while all of this is happening, this guy Gino, I think that's his name. Gino, no, what's his name? Ginoya or something? Wait a minute. Ginoza. So, okay. Gino or Ginoza. He okay. He was saying like, oh, let's just do this like the normal way, the normal procedure, and he wasn't directly really agreeing with that guy, Masao, yeah, or Masaoka, whatever his name is. And later Akane comes in and she's like, oh, you leave this to me, I can take care of it, and I feel like I can make use of all the enforcers and properly take care of this situation. At which he agrees in the end, and then that whole thing happens where Shinya makes a plan to bring his aggression out, that guy. If he's really the murderer, by doing that, he'll try to do the same thing that he did to the person who died to them, so that this doesn't escalate. So, and that's exactly what he did, and that's why he was like literally threatening him and kind of just bullying him. And he snapped, he ran away, and he did that whole thing. And then it was pretty obvious that he's the murderer. And and a few other things here. For example, you can see how Akane says we already know that he's a criminal. Why is there a need to do any of this? We can just leave and we can make, where is that part? Excuse me. Okay, here we go. We've already caught the criminal red-handed. We need to call for backup, and she's not able to complete it. Now, the reason why I feel like Shinya was going so crazy and he wanted to catch him like this, even after like what Akane said, it's over. We all know that he's the one responsible for it. So we can just go back out and because obviously he cannot come out of that place, otherwise the robots will stop working. So all we need to do is just back out and just wait for backup to arrive and then take care of the situation. Why are you actively trying to hunt him down? And that's what Akane says in the end, that like the fact that even though like he's like he's like he talks about how he wants to where's that part, here we go. He said that he wanted to be a detective, not just a hunting dog. Yeah, but that look in his eyes was unmistakably of a carnivore that had cornered its prey. So it's basically because of that he was so hell bent on taking care of the situation himself. He just wanted to hunt him down. And obviously, I'm pretty sure the reason behind this, like why he's acting like this, is probably something that has connected to his past. That one scene that we saw, in the very first episode, it probably has something to do with that. Either way, yeah. So that was what happened in today's episode. So right, it was a it was an interesting, I guess you could say, a case, because how like I don't know, like first of all, the guy, the one who was the manager or whatever, he knew what was going on, and he knew something like weird is going on. And he talks about how his employees are all okay, they don't have any problems, they're mentally stable. But then he says that, oh, like the one person who gets bullied, their hues go down, we just transfer him to somewhere else. So like, yeah, so basically that, so basically, like, making use of exploiting a person as much as they could, and then when they're not like useful enough, just throw them out, that kind of thing. So yeah. And oh my god, like I can yeah, like this world, obviously, this whole thing is just so like messed up. You can probably get to see a lot of messed up people in this world, and how they have been affected by this whole system. Because I feel like as more and more stuff gets automated, and like people starts relying on robots, people like this start emerging, who will just treat everyone else like as if they are like robots themselves, because they are just so used to using robots, or not literally caring about anyone else, like not literally caring about them, because they're robots. Obviously, they don't need any needs, and like they don't need any type of break, they can continuously do their job. They don't need any type of food, a little bit of like the electricity and stuff that they need, a little bit of maintenance, and that's it. That's all they need. No emotional, like like needs, no like physical needs, nothing. That's what automated robots are. So people like these, like the manager for example, they're so used to working with robots that they treat their normal human employees as robots as well. And that's literally why he was so weird throughout the whole episode. You could see he just treats everyone like disposable, like like things. That's why he was like, oh, like like when the hues go down, we just like transfer them out. And in such a weird way. And this is what happens, like as more and more like things get automated, and like stuff like this starts emerging, people will get desensitized to a lot of things, to a lot of important human emotions. I feel like obviously not everyone will become like that, but a particular group of people will become like this. And you could say the majority of the fall lies with the situation and the system, because people like these, they get used to a system where they don't have to care about that particular, like like their employees, because their employees are literally robots. So when they start working with human employees, they treat them same as robots. But obviously a human and a robot are different, you cannot treat them the same. So all these things, like you can see. And that's why this guy was just so like, yeah, he was basically so weird throughout the whole episode. And you can see like he's kind of like psychotic. His face and everything is like like his, yeah. But either way, we took care of this situation, and yeah, the case was solved. Another thing I wanted to mention here, Ginoza, that guy, Shinya called him Gino. So I'm thinking maybe like they like personally know each other or something? Are they like are they like close enough? Because he calls him Gino. Even Akane calls him Ginoza. But Akane is like new to this place. Obviously, I guess it makes sense. But they are supposed to be enforcers, and he's supposed to be like one in like who is responsible for them. So I would expect everyone like calling him by his proper name, Ginoza. The fact that Shinya calls him Gino makes me think like it's like they like know each other personally. That's why he's like using a nickname like Gino or something like that, because it's very personal. The way he called him, it seems like he like knows him or something, something like that. Either way, and not only that, we also get to see like Masao, this guy. You know what, I need to check it. I always forget his name, especially the final part. Is it Masaoka or Masao? Yeah, Masaoka, isn't it? Wait a minute. Yeah, Masaoka. Okay, I need to put this in my head. Masaoka. Okay, so Masaoka. Not like like I talked about Shinya, but I feel like obviously it's very obvious. Masaka also has probably something like he also probably knows Ginoza personally, because Ginoza flipped out when Akane was asking about Masa, and she was like, oh, like do you guys have something, some kind of a trouble going on between you, like you like when you were talking to Masaoka like that. And he was like staring at Akane, was giving her the death stare, and Akane was got like a little bit just puzzled in that situation. And yeah, so yeah, like something's going on. Right. Either way, yeah, another, I guess you could say, successful mission, but at the same time, just crazy to see stuff like this. Like, if you think about it, the one who's actually at fault is the system, and also the guy, their manager dude, because he's the one who let this happen. So yeah, but obviously he won't face any charges because he's innocent, and he didn't really do anything. The one who'll get like who'll probably now that guy will probably go to like isolation ward and stuff. The one who's going to be affected is that guy, but he was just a victim, if you think about it like that. He was just a victim, and that made him become a criminal. So who was the one at fault? It's the system and that guy. And if in that sense, if like I said, if you think about it in a more vast like way, you can say the main fault is that the system is at fault here again, because like I said, that guy probably just got used to working with robots so much that he started treating his employees as robots as well. So it's not even the system, it's basically the situation, like the like the how like everything, the technology and everything, all that stuff, that's probably the underlying cause. Because if I don't know what type of person he was, but I don't know, maybe if he worked with normal, like actual people instead of robots, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Because yeah, he probably would have a different mindset, because if you work with people. But you know what, at the same time, I guess you could say, unless and until you yourself have a but you know what, yeah, I'm not really sure. But I feel like at least a very teensy part, definitely the whole situation, how everything is so automated, and like how like technology is like so high over here, and that's why a lot of these like things that happen here, a lot of the fault lies with the situation and the world. Like for example, here the guy treated everyone like basically as disposable pawns, and that is why the people who were working here, they started bringing out their stress in this on this dude. And this dude, who was just a victim, little by little became a criminal, and he killed that guy. So it's like all a chain. It starts from like like it's not like a very simple thing like, oh, this guy's bad, he did something bad. No, it's like a whole chain, like a domino effect, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's difficult to say who is at fault in this type of situation. Obviously, the guy who killed, he's definitely at fault, but at the same time, you could say the same for everyone else as well. The guys who bullied him, they were also at fault. The manager dude, he was also at fault. Like, yeah, in that sense, you could say like everyone was at fault, uh, like at various degrees, in varying degrees. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that was today's episode. Okay, now let me we'll go through this episode scene by scene. If let's see if I missed anything. The very first scene, we get to see Shinya kind of doing a little bit of personal training, and he looks at that picture and yeah, that part. Then we fast forward to the case. This time the case is a murder case, or as they say, an accident. So basically what happened is that in Hachioji drone factory, like Ginoza is talking to Akane, someone was dismembered by a drone that they were stress testing. But this is a third casualty, so Ginoza's like, something weird is going on, we have to check. So they go to this place, and the whole situation is basically most of the stuff are drone and fully automated, but there's 50 normal humans who work here as debuggers, and they do the work staying here. That's a live-in job, and there's like over 1,000 drones. So like they have to debug them, check if everything is fine or not, all that stuff. So like Akane and Ginoza, they think, like, or Ginoza thinks that if you install a program that induces a malfunction in the drone before it's tested, it might be possible to take like commit a murder like this. So this could be a murder situation. Akane says, can't we just check everyone's crime coefficient? At which he says that it is not that simple. Yeah, obviously he doesn't really say anything much over here, but we get to know why it isn't that simple, because we get to know like what's going on, how this whole place is disconnected from the whole world. That's why they cannot use the civil system and all that stuff. Either way, they arrive at that place. Akane says that, oh, like Ginoza-san, I think I can get along well with the enforcers. And he says, do you mean you'll get along with them as a colleague or as their handler? Very very important question. Obviously, basically Ginoza is saying like, do you like want to be like their friend, like a friend type of like I don't know, like a relationship. Is that what you want to have, or you want to be like their handler, like their higher up, their leader, and just order them as your tools? You want to be like same as them, or you want to be like someone who handles them? Now this conversation, now this is just a guess, I feel like Ginoza was probably someone who, obviously I'm guessing he was like their handler at before. He was probably someone who tried to become their friends. You know why I'm saying this? That is why I think Shinya calls him as Gino. Now the reason why he is now like this is probably because something happened and he something drastic or something crazy probably happened, and he probably changed his mind and decided that no, it's not like I cannot be their friend or their colleague, I need to be their handler, and that's why he treats everyone like this now. I feel like this is something like that is going on. Otherwise, why would he ask a question like this to Akane? I feel like he asked this question to Akane because he's thinking that she might walk the same path as me. That's why he asks this question. He's like, you want to be the handler, or you want to be like their like the colleague or something? Because he himself did that once probably before. He tried to be their colleague. Something happened, and he decided to be like take a more distant, like an approach with them, and completely killed his emotions, and he's treating them like tools now. probably because of some kind of an incident. And now that Akane is here and he's seeing probably himself in her, he's asking Akane that you want to be the colleague or the handler, because he probably thinks that if Akane goes, like, like tries to be like their colleague or their friend, she might go through the same situation that he went through, and something like that. I don't know, this is like a full on speculation, but I think that might just be the case, and it would answer like why Shinya calls him Gino and why he has such a bitter relationship with Masaoka. Because probably something happened, and because at first maybe they were like very good friends, but then something happened and now he's like this, something like that. And that's why he asks Akane this question. Then he also says another thing which again indicates towards that. He says, they say that fools learn from their experiences while the wise learn from history. That's a very interesting statement. Fools learn from their experiences and wise learn from history. That's a very interesting statement. I don't know what to make of it. But anyways, he says like, I hope you're not fools. That is, you don't learn from your experience, but you learn from history. So basically, he's telling her to be more apathetic towards them. Basically, be their handler, not be their colleague. Being their colleague, he probably indicates that being their colleague is the job of a fool. But if she's a wise one, she'll probably deal with them as their handler, something like that. And that's why I'm saying, like, again, this indicates that he probably walked the same path as a fool before, according to him, because like being like their colleague, maybe like for him, like it didn't work. Like I said, it probably something like that happened, and that's why now he's trying to be very emotionally detached from them and treating them as tools. So yeah, so I feel like this kind of indicates that. I might be completely wrong. This, again, this is a whole speculation. Okay. Right, next we get to see that dude comes in, the manager dude or whatever the hell he was. He comes in and he is like, oh, like everything is fine. We do a safety check around here after the drones are built. And he talks about the whole process, talks about the whole thing. And he says like we cannot connect to the net here, so there's not much way in for the diversions. And they do that so that they don't get hacked. Which makes sense, I guess. Either way, there's no way you can communicate somewhere outside. So the whole place is isolated. So now after that they come to the crime scene. Crime scene has completely been like wiped clear because the drone took care of it. But they have the camera footage for it. So they show it and they're like, oh, it's like his body was dissected by the drone while he was still alive. His psychopaths showed no indication of any problems. So there's so it might not be. It must have been an accident. But they're like, oh, this is the third time this happened. And he's like, oh, but this place is very dangerous. Like, obviously, that's why it happened. Like, And he's like, oh, go through proper channels and come and, like, do all of this. So, all that aside, they weren't able to do anything much over here because this guy's like, oh, go through the proper channels. And then Ginoza's like, I need to talk to this guy personally. You guys go ahead and forward the stuff back to headquarters. So Ginoza goes along with Shinya, yeah, and talks to this guy. Okay, so the guy gives him the records for the psychopaths, the coefficient thing, and as he kind of checks through the whole thing, everything is fine. Yeah, okay, wait a minute, let me check. These are the psychopasses for all the staff within the facility. These records contain the results of our detailed periodic checks along with the hue assessment by the scanners installed in the building. So he checks through that and then he's like, oh, this is not a murder, there's no suspect, this and that, And Ginoza says, we won't know that unless we analyze this data using the Sybil system. And he says that will take some time, but there's an easier way to check. We use the dominators. And then he's like, oh, it'll disrupt our operations. Like I said, I didn't understand it here. At first, I was like, couldn't they just, like, how will it disrupt the operation? Couldn't they just go and point the gun towards them? But then I realized, like, they cannot do that because the guns aren't connected. So it won't work like that. So that's why the guy was like, oh, it'll disrupt our operation, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, he's like, oh, if you cannot provide evidence that Shioyama's death was a murder, then I cannot allow any of this. So go to the, I think he says something like go to the economy ministry or something like that. What does it say? Ministry of Economy, yeah. Go to them first, request of, like, complain over them, that's, all that stuff. Yeah. Okay, so as they are going back, Akane is talking to the enforcers, and they're like, yeah, this is definitely a murder, because if you're a detective, you'll immediately realize it's like your sixth sense is working, So yeah, this is definitely a murder. Akane said, but the scanner hasn't really detected anyone dangerous, didn't it? At which Masaoka's like, well, the best these scanners can do is measure a person's stress patterns by performing a hue assessment. There you go. So yeah, they're just taking care, like seeing how stressed you are. So if you want to actually compute a person's mental state based on the cymatic strain data, in order to check their job aptitude and crime coefficient, you need to wait in line for an analysis by the civil system. Okay, so there you go. So this is not like a foolproof method, this scanner, the way they are doing it. So we cannot be sure unless and until we use the civil system, and we cannot use the civil system because of it's not connected. We could use the dominators though. However, he brings Akane to that place and he's like, come on, get your dominator. And she takes it, and the dominator's like, oh, the system link cannot be established, so it won't work. Yeah, since this facility blocks all electromagnetic radiation, it won't work like that. Okay, so Akane says, I wonder what the chances are. Masaoka's like, you mean the chance that this death was an accident? Huh, it was hard not to laugh. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, obviously for a detective, you'll get a gut feeling, yeah, this was a murder, and the reason probably was grudge. So all that stuff aside, next we get to see they're like eating in the cafeteria, and they're like, oh, like this place doesn't have any connection. I wonder what they do for their stress relief. And then immediately to get our answer, we get to see like a group of people bullying someone. And when Akane is like, what the hell is going on? And the manager is like, oh, so you can leave them be. This is just their way of becoming, being entertained. Okay, and here I was like, wait, so wouldn't this make the guy who's being bullied, their psychopath deteriorate? Like what, like, but didn't he say that no other person's psychopath is like, everything is fine? And he kind of gives the answers himself. He says, yeah, if his psychopath gets cloudy enough to be an issue, we'll assign him somewhere else right away. So that's literally what they're doing, And he's like, this man may have has his role to play same as someone else. Civil has recommended this workplace to him because he was best suited for this purpose. So there you go. The civil system, every single person working here, civil system recommended them here. Wow, what a great. Good God. Like, yeah, like I have no words to say. Like, it's so weird to think about. Like, a literal machine is dictating what you have to do with your life, and it's telling you like, oh, you should go to this workplace, this is perfect for you. Literally a dystopian society. This is in no way is this like a and Shinya literally says that what a blessing the civil system is, right? Oh no, wait, okay, he says he kind of throws shade to him. He says, and I guess someone like you who can laugh and turn a blind eye is best suited to run this place. Yeah, what a blessing the civil system is. Obviously the man wasn't happy about listening to something like he is pissed. The guy, like the manager, he was like, yeah. Either way, Shinya goes and helps the guy out, and then after that we're back to our headquarters. Okay, so Masaoka says if that chief guy say what it was true, then there's always one person whose hue check gets worse over time, and this person is transferred somewhere else without exception. Okay, so this dude Fukuyama Daigo to be transferred, since his hue has gone like cloudy, so he's going to be transferred. However, no one has been reassigned for the past 1 year. The deaths started happening 1 year ago, right? As for the past year, the same person has been the target of bullying. The data clearly indicates it, and we can see other people's psychopaths shows clear color, but there's one person whose psychopath is clouded, which is this guy, Yuji Kanehara. Excuse me. Hue assessment shows yellow green. That explains his nickname. It seems like the hue assessment results are open to everyone here, and that's why people can bully him, like they know, yeah. Right. But this guy's latest measurement shows an improved hue. In fact, his hue was the cloudiest on the day before Shioyama died. And everyone's like, yeah, this clearly indicates that he's the one who did the killing, probably. And Akane's like, this doesn't make sense. Why would a person's psychopath improve after killing someone? And he says, Masaka says, the other employees have all been taking out their stress on Kanehara himself. There you go. It's not strange when you think about it. Back in the days when we didn't have the cymatic scans, these sort of things weren't that uncommon. And this is where Ginoza gets mad. He's like, oh, is this more of that detective intuition you're talking about? And like I said, yeah, something's going on. They have history, obviously. And I feel like, I think what I said, that, maybe he tried to treat everyone as a friend, but then something happened, especially probably with Masaoka. And that is why he has started treating them as tools from here onwards. And that's why he says here, is that more of that detective's intuition you're talking about? So I'm guessing this is probably an incident that happened in their past, where Masaoka probably talked about his detective's intuition, and Ginzo probably listened to it, and the result was probably bad, in a very bad way. And and like something like that probably happened, and that is why he has this grudge against him. Here we go. You're just deluding yourself. I prove that latent criminals like you are the dregs of society. You cannot act on some speculation based on circumstantial evidence. Our job is to maintain an orderly society based on the crime coefficient, based on all that stuff. Anyways, Shinya's like, leave this to me, but he's like, no, obviously not. I cannot allow this. And then Akane is like, talks to Ginoza, and she's like, come on, leave this to us. I'll take care, along with Shinya, I'll take care of this situation. And she's like, you're the one who's acting strange here. Did something happen between you and Masaoka? And then he gives her the eye. He's like, and Akane is like, okay, no problem. Moving along, and she's like, oh, please let me do this. I can take care of this with the help of the enforcers. And this is why Ginoza says that, I see, so you've decided to be a fool after all. Anyways, so all that stuff. Okay, next, he's like, oh, if you want to be a fool, then try learning through experience like one. So there you go. He's like, do whatever you want to. And then next we get to see the whole plan is, the plan is basically we have to bring him out here, so that the Dominator works. And they have a total 200 meters worth of communication cables. So they drag the cables over here, and they have to bring the guy outside. To do that, Shinya's like, okay, let me handle this. So he goes in, literally, opens the door, starts kicking him, punching him almost, and starts literally bullying him. Akane's like, what the hell are you doing? But either way, Shinya is like, oh, you're the one who killed them, didn't you? You know, like this and that, and starts like threatening him, tells him that, oh, after we go from here, this whole thing will be published everywhere, your whole life will be ruined, this and that, you know, all that stuff, and scares him so much, he rushes. He rushes off to the place where he could do something to those drones, those robots. And this is where Shinya says, this was exactly what I was planning to do. Now we'll know for sure if Kanehara is someone who's capable of murder. If he is the murderer, okay, here we go. He doesn't have time to prepare anything in advance. If he wants to kill me right away, he'll do the same thing that he did before. Yeah. When he does, we can prove his crime. Right. And otherwise, and if he just plain runs away, then it'll be proof that he's not the criminal. But, you know, obviously, if he's a criminal, he'll also be afraid of the fact that Shinya told him that I'm going to tell everyone that your efficient is like this, you know, you're a criminal, this and that. So he would get scared and he'll try to kill Shinya. That's exactly what he does. He, you know, starts controlling that robot thing and comes in, and Shinya's like, there you go, we have our proof now. So he starts running, you know, and then he starts chasing them, and this whole chase thing happens. And Shinya's like, you know, like, we have to put our lives online as well. So yeah, this is about finding the truth behind the matter of life and death. We have to put our lives on, you know, in this type of dangerous situation as well. Right. Either way, they're somehow able to run away and come to the place. Akane says here that you can just leave him alone, can you not? You know, it's proved that he is a criminal. Let's back away and take some backup in. You know, bring some backup in. But Shinya's like, no. You know, he comes in, and then Shinya gets the Dominator, and now, like I said, this part, as far as I understood here, correct me if I'm wrong, the coefficient was 260, something like that, which was probably within range of the tranquilization. Above that, I'm guessing it will turn into a destroyer. So he used the Dominator to tranquilize the guy, and then when he pointed at the robot that has gone crazy, it turned into a destroyer, the Dominator, and he used the Dominator to destroy the robot. Now, if I'm correct, it does, like, you know, like the Sybil system, this whole thing, this whole Dominator thing, it doesn't base the psychopath on whether a person is a human or a robot. You know, it bases on the fact whether the person in front of them is a threat to society. If that is the case, it would answer my question, why was he able to use the Dominator on a robot, which literally is a non-living thing? You know, it would answer my question. If the psychopath is based on whether something is a threat to society, something like that, you know. Either way, yeah, the threat's judgment got updated, and target will completely be eliminated. And yeah, he shoots it and destroys the robot. And in the end, Akane is like, yeah, he talks about being like a normal detective, but not a hunting dog. But you could clearly see, especially in this type of situation, how he was literally hunting the prey. And that's why he didn't back out. When Akane said that we can literally back out and take care of this, like in a more peaceful way. Not peaceful, but we can bring backup in and then take care of it. But he was like, no, I need to take care of this. It's as if he was hunting something. He couldn't let his prey get away from him. So yeah, and that is where it ended. So there you go. I have a few questions, like I said, about this episode. A few of those questions that I asked. If you can, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think it's probably that. The big question I have is how the Sybil system, does it work on like inanimate objects as well? That's what my big question is. Otherwise, how did he use it on that robot? It must work on inanimate objects, because it probably bases the psychopath on the fact that whether something or someone is threat to society or not. So it doesn't matter if you are living or non-living. If you're a threat to society, it'll take care of you. That kind of thing. Okay, so there you go. That is it. Thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode 3 of Psycho-Pass. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next week with another episode of Psycho-Pass. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.